going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, Austin Ekeler, the running back of the Chargers, was carted off the field yesterday against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and it doesn't look good. Looks like it's his hamstring and his knee, and they are most likely going to be placing him on IR. Usually it means about 8 weeks before, but now this year it's usually just been about 4 weeks that these guys miss, but I think he's more of like a 6-week kind of guy, so he might return from the IR in 4 weeks, but he's probably still not going to play for another 2 weeks in my opinion, but still a big loss for the Chargers moving forward. Then the Lakers did get the win in Game 2 against the Miami Heat. They did lose Game 3, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video obviously. But yes, Game 1, it was a pretty solid win, back and forth a lot in the second half, but the Lakers still kept that 10-point lead as they have been throughout the playoffs. And yes, they were able to get the W. LeBron had about 33, 9 and 9, and then Anthony Davis had around 32 and 14 rebounds. So once again, as they scored above 55 plus, they did get the W. Game 3, they did not. Anthony Davis was in foul trouble most of the game, and of course, I don't even think he even reached 20 points. LeBron was closer, over 20, but still, if Anthony Davis isn't going, and like I said, if they don't score over 55, they won't win the game, and it came true yesterday, so we'll see what they can do tomorrow in Game 4. But yeah, I mean, in Game 2, they're being compared to that duo to like Shaq and Kobe, and they said it's a great opportunity to wear the Black Mamba jerseys, which of course they are still undefeated after that Game 2. Maybe they need to bring it back for one of these next games coming up just in case. But yeah, overall, not really worried. It's just want to see how the Lakers come out in Game 4. So just waiting for that on Tuesday. And then the USC football schedule finally came out and was updated. So yes, they do play November 7th against ASU at home, but for some reason it's a 9 a.m. kickoff, which is pretty crazy, but I don't know why. I didn't really read into why the Pac-12 is having a lot of these early-ass kickoff times, but maybe it has to do with some type of COVID stuff. But yeah, that's their first game. It's a pretty tough game, in my opinion. ASU has played them pretty well, especially when they've come to USC, so at least get the harder one out of the way first, and then they go on the road to Arizona. Should be an easier win, and then to Utah, where I don't know, it's weird how whoever is the home team in this game every year seems to win. So this could be USC's upset loss, but we'll have to wait and see if they're a different USC team. Then they come back home to Colorado and Washington State, so they get one of the North teams, and it's Washington State, who is a bit easier, which is good, and not Oregon. But I think they kind of set up for the Pac-12 championship to have USC and Oregon, to maybe whoever wins that game gets to be put into the college football playoff, but I don't know. Then they finish off the little regular season with UCLA, of course. They finally got that. I know reports were saying that they might play them first just because they're closer, but they ended up keeping that rivalry later in the year. And it's a away game, but at the Rose Bowl, but it's still pretty much a home game to USC fans. So yeah, they should do good. Only 2 games I'm worried about is ASU and at Utah, but other than that, they should run the table. So I mean, they did feel disrespected from the AP poll, because once everybody knew that the Pac-12 was coming back, they kind of re-put in those teams that they put in before the season, and I believe only Oregon was the team that got put back in to the rankings, and USC before the rankings came out were number 15, even though they already knew the Pac-12 wasn't going to be out, but they weren't put back in, which felt disrespectful to them. But hopefully they could use that energy to get a couple wins and show them what they can do. But yeah, as far as a little bit of other news, the Chargers, they did have a lot of scouts at the Georgia Auburn game this last weekend, which was a pretty highly built up game it didn't turn out to be. Georgia came out with a pretty easy victory. Auburn struggled a lot, but there were a lot of good players on the field. I mean, of course, that article said the players that the Chargers were interested in, of course, are guys I don't even know or I am not interested in. But Georgia, I mean, they have like an offensive lineman in Ben Cleveland. He's pretty talented. And then their wide receiver, George Pickens, is really good as well. And those are really the only two guys I would look at. At Georgia and then Auburn, I like the quarterback Bo Nix, who struggled a bit, but I believe he could do better. And they have a wide receiver as well, Seth Williams, who looks great for the NFL. And then also Britt, their linebacker, who's really good as well. So those would be definitely the guys I will look for to join the Chargers instead of some of the guys they were choosing, which suck. But yes, to finish this video off, of course I forgot to put this video highlight in of last week when Sam Darnold did a nice run, but they had asked if it's too early to like really give an opinion on Sam Darnold just because of how crappy of a team he's on, and they're really not helping him out, whether it's signing certain players or making sure they have the right coaches in place or anything like that. And I mean, you can see the talent there. Obviously, he did this big run, and he's not known for that, but he's known to fight and be able to make certain plays off like on the run as well. So he showed that as well, even in a loss to Denver that Thursday night. So like I said, I think being able to trade for him, especially if the Chargers are interested in a year, if the Jets have a #1 pick and end up taking Trevor Lawrence, I think that's a decision they should go to, because Herbert might not be the answer, but to have those two guys on the same team and competing, I mean, you can't go wrong. You always have a backup no matter what. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, on.